Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
This is Rick Heyman from Sartor Heyman Jewelers, inviting you to our new outlet jewelry store at 12th and O in downtown Lincoln. Amazingly, we still have fabulous items we bought 1 year ago and beyond. Well, you know what an outlet store is. Unbeatable prices throughout the store. Closeouts up to 70% off. Don't delay. When it's gone, it's gone. You won't see everything on our website, so you gotta come in. The Outlet by Sartor Heyman, where luxury and affordability meet. Opening November 25th in Lincoln at 12th and O.
Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness specialize in getting rid of people's pain quickly and permanently. For 31 years, they've been extremely successful with advanced techniques in pain relief using spinal adjustments and decompression, detoxification, diet and lifestyle modification, and more. They are fully equipped to handle the most seasonal athlete, weekend warrior, car accidents, strains, sprains, and more. Is there anywhere you're experiencing pain on your body, or are you fighting decreased energy and depression? Consult Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness first at 402-476-8619. At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just a professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Load up on meat and more this holiday season at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's specials through December 12th are spend $740 and get a free New York strip. Also, through the 12th, all Flavor County Farms mushrooms are $1.50 off of normal price. Don't forget their two new locations now open at 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
Coach Brown is our guest. Coach Rule, give us your synopsis.
I look at Coach Rule, and there's a lot of things I like about him, man. And he has great respect for Coach Osborne. That's what I like. I think I really like his humility. He listens to people. He learns from other people still, and he's got remarkable intelligence, I think. I think he's got a really high level of intelligence. He's coached every position, and he's a great teacher to go along with it. I think the best teachers are the best learners.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? This is Old School, Jay Foreman, Austin to my right. We are coming live from 1040 O Street. So we are brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese, Special Ingredients and Butcher Shop, 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill. Every type of meat, every type of cut is getting close to the holidays here. Obviously, with Christmas coming up and all the other holidays, depending on what you celebrate. So make sure you head over to either location. I'm sure they have some deals, but they also have the best cuts in town. So anyways, big weekend of sports for Nebraska. It's a good weekend for Nebraska sports. And that's always good because a lot going on. Volleyball team was able to push through. Some congrats to them. They are on their way to Tampa. I mean, eventually, obviously, with today or tomorrow. Final Four time. Impressive. Shows some grit, some tenacity to beat an upstart Arkansas team with a lot of pressure on themselves, right? You're at home. You get up 2-0. Arkansas kind of punches back, which what you should expect and respect. And then they fought tooth and nail, and then finally you were able to push through. And that shows a little bit more grit than maybe they've had before. But then also it lets you know that they are a true team that are able to withstand a couple punches, don't blink, and just keep along the process of dominating. And then you had men's basketball team after 2 lackluster performances. You lose the Creighton, you get blown out, lose your way. Didn't even look like the team that you'd seen, for the first 7 games. And then you go up to Minnesota, have a 15-point lead. You're like, oh man, stuff is great. You come back after a 29-point loss, which Creighton played really, really good, and Nebraska played not so good. 15-point lead at halftime. You think like, okay, well, Minnesota's going to make a little run, but they, Nebraska pretty much stymied it, their offense. And then Minnesota was able to score 52 points in the second half. And then you fly back from Minneapolis, and then you face a team. And essentially, Michigan State isn't a team. That is a program. It has an iconic coach. You know what you're going to get. They're going to be big, physical, tough, and they're going to make you earn everything. And Nebraska, and plus this is after their coach, or after Fred Hoiberg, their coach, in a lot of ways question their manhood and their toughness. And then you got to go play against a tough team. And I think it was a really good victory, not only for the fans and all that other stuff and the former players like Strick and all the, Bernard Day and all the guys, that, we have had in here and had on. But it also was a really good victory for, the players and Coach Hoiberg and the basketball program. It showed true growth, showed the ability to withstand the standards that you probably set for yourself, but then also we are able to go back and reset. And also it shows that they actually have some coachable kids, right? From my own experience of coaching young kids, that sometimes when you deliver a hard message, it's not received. You know this too, Austin. And they probably get in the car. Now these kids' parents aren't here, but they'll get in the car, complain to parents. Then next thing you know, the eyes are on you when you're a coach. The parents are mad at you because you're helping them. The parents don't understand that you're trying to help them. You're actually helping them more than hurting them and their kid. But sometimes they just kind of tuck their tail and just bounce. And it's maybe even more paramount in college kids because they always feel like they got options and it's always the coach's fault. And nobody had been really playing good. Well, everybody decided to step up, and that was a good thing because they had the energy guy. I think Josiah Alec was out, right? And so he brings a lot of the energy and can kind of make up for it. But then you had Juwan Gary and so forth and so on. So ultimately, I think it was a really good weekend for Husker sports, and hopefully it continues.
Great weekend. I mean, you mentioned volleyball doing its thing. No real surprise there. Maybe the only surprise was they dropped a set.
Yeah.
The first one all tournament. So credit to Arkansas for that. Have a tough matchup with Pitt. That game against Michigan State, Jay, for the men's basketball team is one of the best basketball games I've seen in a long time. Super clean. Only 9 turnovers per team. Not a lot of fouls until late in the second half. Michigan State had 2. Good shooting, good ball movement, some athletic plays, good team play, enough stars on both ends. There's 2 veteran teams. That felt like a true
basketball.
Big Ten basketball game.
Old school.
High level, both ways. No lead bigger than 7 points for either team. Not a lot of huge runs. And that kind of worried me about Nebraska was it gets to be 13-6 Michigan State. Okay, is this where Nebraska falls apart? Even at the end of the first half, Nebraska was up 31-30. Then they go 3.5 minutes without scoring.
Right.
Could have been a lot worse than 34-31. Going in. Walker hits those 2 threes to make it 63-60. Okay, well, good effort, Nebraska. You tried.
Right.
Nebraska showed the poise it hadn't the last couple days. It showed that veteran aspect, that coachability. Fred Hoiberg said he told Rinkmaster not to immediately dribble when he catches the ball at the elbow. Guess what? Rinkmaster went through 1, 2, 3 options like a quarterback in the pocket before starting to make his move. Bryce Williams hit big shots. Casey looked like Casey. Juwan Gary in a spot start did that. Sam Hoiberg was a spark. You had the long threes from he and Wilcher. Everything came together for Nebraska last night. We still know what this team's limitations are. It's not all solved by one win.
Right.
But right now, it kind of feels like, Nebraska had a virus for 2 games.
Yeah.
They puked it out those 2 games. And it feels like they're back on track now.
Yeah, I mean, they showed a little glimpse of what they probably have been seeing, and it was good. Let's give C.J. Wilcher some props too. He came in the last 2 games. He kind of showed some life up in Minnesota, obviously in a loss, but in this one, 10 points is huge. Sam Hoiberg, you mentioned, and then Bryce Williams. I think that with his type of length, he's kind of hopefully getting into that point forward type of role, and then. Casey bounced back after having probably the worst game that he's had in probably quite some time as far as his career, no matter what, JUCO or obviously in Nebraska, especially in the last season and a half. So, dealing with adversity, dealing with, I guess you could say negativity or negative results is a unique quality that either makes or breaks the team, makes or breaks a program, makes or break a coaching tenure. I think one thing I can say is that I feel like Fred Hoiberg and their staff did a really good job of kind of reassessing themselves, and also, is doing some self-reflection, tried some things, obviously came to the conclusion, however they got there, that, okay, this is probably not going to, work out well for anybody, because it looked like always kind of, the gears weren't very oiled. And so then they went back and changed, what they were looking for as far as players and identity. And you saw it last year where in games like yesterday, where the defense was able to keep you in the games. They were doing the little things. I think maybe they probably got back to that this week. Definitely, I think they could get a lot better at it. And then as you add different pieces, and look, you're going to miss Sam Griesel, guys that are underappreciated. Sam Griesel and obviously Derek Walker, right? Those are 2 guys that especially with Derek Walker, kind of a point center, point power forward, excellent passer, physical, can control the break. Sam Griesel can do so as well. Those are the guys that can actually stymie runs based on how they, their experience. So it's going to take a little while for guys to grow into those roles, and that's what you probably have seen over the last couple of games. But I think yesterday was a good example of when things are clicking and guys are kind of in their roles and they're playing to their potential. They can play with one of the better teams in the Big Ten.
They absolutely can. And that's why I didn't press the panic button after 2 games that were bad. I mean, this is a tested group that is still learning to play together for sure. But last night, I think, is the formula for Nebraska. Keep it close and rely on your vets to make plays at the end. I think that's going to be it. Now, will Nebraska shoot 43% from 3 every game? No, I don't think they're that good unless they get looks like this. They got a lot of good looks last night. They didn't force many up, and that helps. They can probably play even with most teams in the Big Ten in rebounding. The nights they can't, they have to shoot better. The nights they're not shooting, they have to dominate rebounds. There's a lot of different ways for Nebraska to beat you because they have so many pieces that can, step up and play a bigger role any given night, which I talked after, Minnesota. Minnesota has an identity. They're that physical team. They're going to beat you up on the glass with their athletes. I don't know what Nebraska's identity is, unless its identity is kind of amoeba versatility, where maybe you would want that one strength that is your thing to rely on game in, game out. But maybe there's something to be said for being able to play the matchups, being able to, find a different weakness depending on who it is you're going against. If that's Nebraska's strength, it makes the season harder to predict. It makes it harder on a game-to-game basis because Fred Hoiberg might not know who has the hot hand going in. You go in with an idea, but I think there's enough, persistence, enough creativity, and just basketball IQ in this group. They're going to be okay playing, any number of different styles on a game-to-game basis.
Yeah, I think it's good if they all are, in their roles, know when they're going to play a certain style versus a certain team. And then they all embrace it for that game. And ultimately everybody will, play, hopefully close to what they did last night. And I think, when you beat Michigan State, a team that's, definitely showed Nebraska how to move the ball last year. Nebraska had 16 assists. Michigan State had 14. That lets you know it's working, right? And so, I think the ability to adapt is very good because with this unit, that means you're going to give people, you're going to take away from their preparation and try to figure out what they could possibly see on the floor. Now, it'll take more work from a scouting department and obviously game planning. But ultimately, when you have I think you have a lot of depth in the different types of guards and stuff like that. We haven't even, seen Ramel Lloyd yet and stuff, so forth and so on. And so the fact that you have different lineups potentially coming, down the stretch will cause a lot more problems. And if you catch a top-ranked team, say like an Illinois, even like a Northwestern or something like that, with Boo Buie and company, you can catch them on a good night. Nebraska can beat them. So, I think it's good. Onward and upward. You got to go and deal with success, right? You got a week off almost, and then you play Kansas State at Kansas State, tough physical team. So this is it. This is going to be another test, right? It's kind of like Creighton, part 2. So we'll see what it goes. But again, congrats to the volleyball team and their trek onto the Final Four, and then also Nebraska basketball beating Michigan State last night and rocking the house against the great Tom Izzo. But we are going to take a break, come back, talk a little bit of portal news. We're going to see who just jumped in there. We always got to get the portal update. And then talk about Nebraska and see, obviously, it's been reported Kyle McCord is here. I wonder if he's at Misty's yet. If not, he should. Or Training Tail is pretty good.
Get him a Runza first.
Yeah. Well, you get a Runza afterwards. But Jay Foreman, Austin Norman, we'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Constructors, Inc., a Nebco company, is now hiring heavy equipment mechanics to maintain fleet equipment and vehicle operations. Constructors offers mechanics a competitive salary, 4-day work weeks with overtime options, a $5,000 hiring bonus, a tool allowance, and great benefits. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. Apply today for their mechanic positions. Visit constructorslincoln.com.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
This is Brad with Midwest Bank, proudly serving our Nebraska communities for over 70 years. We're a community bank, making local decisions, supporting local organizations, and helping local businesses and farms succeed. We are dedicated to serving our clients and helping them meet their financial needs with sound, innovative banking solutions. From an array of checking and deposit accounts, cash management services, to small business, real estate, and ag lending. We're here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com. Member FDIC.
Hi, I'm Steve Carper for O Street Carpet. For Christmas, we're doing everything possible to help you spruce up your home without making a dent in your holiday budget. If you need new wood flooring, new carpet, ceramic tile, vinyl, area rugs, or custom blinds, you want to shop at O Street Carpet. We offer 12-month same-as-cash financing, Lincoln's best selection in stock, free in-home measuring, and we'll install it right away. 1732 O Street. We want to make you a customer for life.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
We're bringing heaven to Lincoln with a waffle unlike anything you've ever experienced. Heavenly Waffles combines an incredibly fluffy recipe packed with protein and a medley of angelic toppings. To elevate the experience beyond your typical waffle and syrup, take the opportunity to try out this divine creation and pair it with a coffee from the mill as we celebrate Heavenly Waffles Wednesday from 8 to 11 a.m. at the 93.7 The Ticket Studio.
Stop by the 93.7 The Ticket Studios at 1040 O Street this Wednesday, December 13th, to try some Heavenly Waffles. Parking available on 11th Street and in nearby garages. Happy holidays from Fairway Meat Market. If you're looking for that special gift for somebody, look no further than the holiday gift box. 2 8-ounce ribeyes, 2 8-ounce New York strips, 2 8-ounce pork chops, 2 8-ounce chicken breasts, and 2 5-ounce steak on a stick. All packed in a holiday gift box for just $59.99. They also have gift cards that are a great stocking stuffer. Your holiday starts at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center just south of 84th and Van Dorn. Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Everything we do, from our jobs to our hobbies, to the stuff that makes us who we are, all of those things come with the tool of the trade. I'm Trooper White of the Nebraska State Patrol. Wearing your seatbelt can reduce your risk of injury by 50% in a crash. So every time you get in a vehicle, remember to use the tool of the trade, your seatbelt. This message presented by the Nebraska State Patrol and the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back. Jay Foreman, Austin Norman, Old School. We're about to move into the portal news. We got some text, though. Unknown texter 1100 says, ask Strick about NBA Jam in college. So it must be somebody that will play with Strick in the dorms and probably, won a couple tickets off him or something like that. What Blanket says, not having an identity is not an identity. Dictating a style of play on your opponent is a style. Adjusting to an opponent's style is not. Successful teams have an identity and force their style on opponents. You cannot win consistently by conceding and adjusting to your opponent. I don't think that's what they're doing. They're actually, first of all, the great ones adjust. Number one, adjustments. If you can't adjust in this day and age of sports, you would not win. I don't care what sport it is. Everybody has a type of style that they like to play, but if you like to be multiple and are able to be multiple, then that is your style. Now, it isn't a style if you're not able to execute the, to be multiple and whether you want to be a man zone, small, whatever. If you want a good example of that, you can look at the Golden State Warriors. They're able to, they were able to play big enough to be able to keep their skill players off the boards and allowing them to play free. But then they were able to create a offense or defensive unit. I think they call it the death unit or something like that, where they were relatively small, but then they spaced the court and essentially just wore teams out by spacing the court. And then therefore that's their offense was actually their defense. So that's the basketball. Football, if you ever want a team that's been multiple or adjusted, there's nothing better than, the Patriots with Tom Brady. And Bill Belichick, because they went from defense, game management with the greatest quarterback of all time, slowly but surely letting the reins off of him, and then obviously timely defense, and obviously still led by the defense. Probably, when they went and beat Philly, to where then they got into where there was more offense that was dictating the style that you could play on the opposing team's offense, which then helped their defense. Generally worked out. And then their probably greatest adjustment was when they beat the Rams.
Oh, yeah.
Where they essentially went 3 yards in a cloud of dust, tough defense, essentially used a defense that they used against the time when they were the St. Louis Rams against them. Played very, very physical, stopped the run against Todd Gurley, who was obviously compromised a little bit with a knee injury, and then go from there. So
I'll throw this out there.
Right.
I think when you think of a team that's versatile, that's able to adapt, I think of it kind of through like boxing terms, right? Teams that have a style, have an identity, are aggressive. They're always
Right.
on the attack. They don't give you a second to catch your breath. You're always on the ropes. Whereas the versatile team that can take away what your strength is okay being on the ropes, not taking any, big blows, but trying to figure out what your weakness is. A little probing, get a few jabs here and there, and then you mess up, they go in for the kill shot. They go after you once they find out what that weakness is. I think it's that adaptability, that patience to figure out what the best matchup is. There's no one right way, right? If you have your own style, you can impose your will. That's always nice. But at the same time, if you can frustrate your opponents by taking away what it is they do well, if you don't have a bad matchup because you have a lineup you can throw out there to counter anything, there's plenty of value in that.
Well, I mean, if you want a football, I guess, example, which was the championship weekend against Alabama and Georgia, the first series, Nick Saban would tell you they were dropping Dallas Turner, who's one of the, if he's not the best pass rusher in the nation, he's one of them. Just based on what their normal defense was, Georgia was able to essentially walk the ball down the field. They made an adjustment, or he made an adjustment, or they, where he said, "Okay, we're gonna rush him, and then we're gonna play 2 high safeties and make them beat us underneath because we feel like we can get home with 4, and then also even though we'll be light in the box, meaning you don't have to insert a safety or a rover or whatever extra player into your run defense. Therefore, you will." They felt like they were good enough against the run to do well against Georgia, and that's obviously what they did, tenfold. So great ones adjust, and that's what Coach Osborne used to always tell us. There's plenty of examples. You come out and try to do what you want to do, they get paid too, right? You got 2 coaches that know each other very well. I mean, heck, I think Fred Hoiberg's son was a walk-on, so he knows the dad really well. They played against each other multiple times, so you're not going to surprise them. So you got to beat Michigan State a little bit at their game, but then also be able to play your game. Flip it. Creighton did what we did to Michigan State against us, and obviously ended up being a 29-point victory. And, sometimes when you are able to adjust and learn from your prior mistakes, which Creighton had to learn from the last year, you're able to get a team so out of their sorts that you end up winning by more than 20 points. So onward and upward. Now it's to the transfer portal. Well, we won't jump into the Nebraska news as of yet, but there was one interesting name. I always like the interesting names in there, Austin. And there's one that people really won't maybe not be a household name. Is Jacoby Windman. He's a linebacker. He's a linebacker, listed as a linebacker, defensive end, hybrid type from Michigan State. Not this year, but last year he started off like gangbusters with 6 sacks, slowed up at the end of 2 seasons ago, and did pretty decent this year but he has injuries, but he has some pretty good pass rush ability. Michigan State has a pass rushing coach or analyst or whatever you call him. I think he's their D-line coach now. Coach Jordan, who exclusively works on, he learned it from the Seattle Seahawks when they had, those 8 guys rotating. So he does a really good job with them. A tough kid though. And he's kind of like an in-betweener where he doesn't have a true position. He's not big enough to be, say like a true 4-3 end, but can rush the passer with his hand in the dirt. And he's probably just big enough to be, probably a stack Sam linebacker, maybe Will, even Mike, but I don't know if he has those skills. But nevertheless, being able to win one-on-one and get to the quarterback is going to make him appealing in the portal. He must have just jumped in today. The other name that was obviously probably the biggest name is Ty Thompson, who's the backup quarterback to Bo Nix at Oregon. He had the picture after losing to, was it even last year when they lost, or when they lost to Washington? He had some picture that he was out there just taking it all in. I guess I never sat out there and watched another team celebrate, but he did. He's in the portal. Definitely comes highly regarded, but he hasn't been able to play. Obviously, last 2 years playing behind Bo Nix.
Do you like Gabriel to Oregon?
I don't know. I mean, I think he fits it. I think you're getting the same thing. I think he had a good year. I think he was pretty good at UCF. I thought he was good last year at Oklahoma. I was very surprised that he jumped in the portal. Maybe it's a money thing. Maybe it's an opportunity thing. Maybe it's, Oregon's the new it team. If he was still at UCF and jump into Oregon, you'd be like, okay, I see it, because then you can get on a bigger stage. Well, Oklahoma's going to the SEC. And I felt like they were turning the corner as far as the team this year. And he was a big part of it. He was probably the most surprising in how quick he got in there. So you don't really know where it's at, but I think he can play quarterback. The one thing I always tell kids, as a matter of fact, just talking to a kid this weekend, he's like family. I said, look, man, the football is always going to handle itself because you can play. And all the other stuff, that's for people that, that handle all the NIL and the BS that goes with it. But the football you playing and what you do to make yourself good shouldn't change no matter where you're at. Now, obviously, there's other factors and stuff like that you got to have, capable linemen and all this other stuff with it. But ultimately, there's two ways to attack it. One, you got to make sure that you got guys that actually, I call it walking and chewing gum. That means if I throw you a pass, you got to be able to catch it. That means if we're supposed to be in an over front, then you can actually line up in the over front. If that we can make tackles as far as defense. But then also, if you have those things, which essentially could be the basics, if you are a dog per se or a leader, you will bring the best out of them, and you do that by, one, continuing to be your best, but the two, you got to be demanding. And then if you go someplace where you can actually be, make a long history in your name, rings forever, that means you could, in some ways, some fashion, become somewhat of a legend. Then that's bigger than just out there chasing, quick stuff, because ultimately, if you're good enough, that'll come around for you. And, very rarely can you get into a situation where you can do some things. So, not too many other big names jumped in today, but one of the best names I've ever seen. And they're Jaquavis Marks. I love that name. Yeah, I watched him. He was at Mississippi State. C.J. Stokes, though, who was a highly rated running back coming out of high school from the University of Michigan, he jumped in. They're in the college football playoffs. So that's interesting, with obviously Blake Corum going to be moving on. Edwards will be back. But then also it lets you know Michigan has enough depth. But that doesn't mean C.J. Stokes couldn't be a plus for somebody. Another name that I know very well, the last name I know very, very well, and that's only because I played against him for so long in my career, and I know you saw it. I know.
Did see
Look
this
at
one.
you. You just over there. Listen, man. Austin was over there like a little fanboy for Adam Vinatieri.
I've never
Jr.
changed my opinion on a man so fast than when Adam Vinatieri went from New England to Indianapolis.
Yeah, I know. And here's the thing about him. Here's the greatest thing about him. This is let you know about kickers, whether you're looking at Nebraska's kicker or just kicker. He's one of the greatest kickers of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Probably say Tucker's in my time.
Mm-hmm.
Tucker's one. Vinatieri is number two, right? So when I got into the NFL, he was in New England,
Mm-hmm.
and he was just obviously just getting there, or just he's kind of obviously early in his career. We would beat New England, and here's the thing: we knew when we'd play against him, he would miss. We were like, oh yeah, he was gonna miss a pressure kick, and we would win. Literally, I would never forget it. We went up there and played New England, and it was actually probably the game I missed the bus, right? That's how I know. That's probably why it was in my memory. Missed the bus, and it was a late starting game.
So you missed the bus, you missed the kick.
Yeah,
so
and he did. Yeah. And I was like, hey, we got to win this game so I don't, get fined. And actually, I think it was that game, but that's what we talked about in special teams.
Mm-hmm.
Pressure. Now, it was different. The stadium was different. And the wind and everything played a factor of it, but he would miss. And then, a couple years down the road, he then, 3 years later, so in my fourth year, in the coldest game I ever played in, it was a snow game. We went to the very last second in overtime because Vinatieri, they would try to kick it, slip. It was the most blocked field goals ever. We had Steve Christie. He was a great kicker. He'd slip. Well, they got it down to like the 1 yard line. called a timeout, got the field and beat us. Then he started making pressure kicks, and then he obviously went from New England to the Colts, and then I go to Houston.
Can't get away from the guy.
Can't get away from dude ain't missed. Now, granted, Peyton Manning and them scoring enough points. He was against us. Against us, he was getting a lot of extra points. Okay, there wasn't too many field goals for him to be worried about. But his son is in there from University of Louisville.
Isn't that Ball State?
Is it Ball State? Okay, yeah, Ball State. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's Ball State.
Which, can I tell my Ball State story?
Yeah.
Funny enough. First Husker game I ever went to, Callahan's last year, 2007. I'm sitting Southeast Stadium as Ball State's kicking towards South Stadium for the field goal to win it.
Right.
They missed it.
Oh.
Nebraska wins 41-40. It's like a 45-yarder.
Yeah.
I want to say the first Husker game I ever went to, Ball State missed a field goal.
There
Nebraska
it is. So
won.
you're the good luck, right?
Well,
and you got Bill Callahan fired.
Hey, what can I say?
Another unique name in there is Malik Carr, the tight end from Michigan State. Obviously, with Michigan State having a new coach, is no different than Indiana. These guys are getting in there pretty quick. They had 3 quarterbacks jump in within like 5 minutes of meeting them. Now you got Jaron Glover, wide receiver. You got Christian Phillips, interior offensive lineman. Brantley, Sebastian Brown, Dre Butler, who's a 4-star as far as like transfer portal ranking. Pretty high ranking. Interior defensive lineman, some other ones. So anyways, good start there. We're going to go, we're going to take a break here, and we're going to come back, and then we have our short segment. We're going to talk about the wacky news of the day in sports. It's kind of funny, though, and it kind of has to deal with what I saw at Kinetic, and then obviously what's going viral about what I think it was in Denver in youth basketball, but there's another one. So Jay Foreman, Austin, we'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this holiday season at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Haviland. This week's specials through December 12th are spend $740 and get a free New York strip. Also, through the 12th, all Flavor County Farms mushrooms are $1.50 off of normal price. Don't forget their 2 new locations now open at 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Concrete Industries, a Nebco company, has immediate job openings for precast production laborers. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $20 per hour and a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer. Visit concreteindustries.com.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road.
It's the holiday season. Time for work parties, friend get-togethers, family gatherings, which means lots of eating. Maybe you think you've perfected your holiday meals, and maybe you have no idea where to even start. Let's fix that right now. No holiday party is complete without Führer's cheese spread. It goes well with any type of cracker, pretzels, apple, chili, vegetables, chips, and of course, it's perfect to pair with wine or beer. Holiday meals aren't complete until Führer's cheese spread is on the table. Find your own container at your nearest local grocery store today.
Everything we do, from our jobs to our hobbies, to the stuff that makes us who we are, all of those things come with the tool of the trade. I'm Trooper White of the Nebraska State Patrol. Wearing your seatbelt can reduce your risk of injury by 50% in a crash. So every time you get in a vehicle, remember to use the tool of the trade, your seatbelt. This message presented by the Nebraska State Patrol and the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
The holidays are right around the corner. This is a great year to give your family and loved ones the gift of shoes to encourage them to stay active. Fleet Feet Lincoln fits you properly for shoes, and they offer a free group that meets 3 days a week, plus other training programs and a walking group on Mondays. Get healthy, stay healthy with proper shoe wear from Fleet Feet Lincoln and a group of friends that will support you and keep you accountable. Start your health adventure at Fleet Feet Lincoln at 77th and Pioneers.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
We're bringing heaven to Lincoln with a waffle unlike anything you've ever experienced. Heavenly Waffles combines an incredibly fluffy recipe packed with protein and a medley of angelic toppings. To elevate the experience beyond your typical waffle and syrup, take the opportunity to try out this divine creation and pair it with a coffee from the mill as we celebrate Heavenly Waffles Wednesday from 8 to 11 a.m. at the 93.7 The Ticket Studio.
Stop by the 93.7 The Ticket Studios at 1040 O Street this Wednesday, December 13th, to try some Heavenly Waffles. Parking available on 11th Street and in nearby garages.
Is your furnace operating like you think it should? Find out with a service check now from the pros at Bryant. No matter what make or model, Bryant will perform a thorough system check to make sure you're good to go this winter. Bryant also offers free second opinion heat exchanger checks. Before you spend thousands on a new furnace, let Bryant check it free. Anytime you need furnace service or repair, just call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing, 467-1111. We do whatever it takes.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL Weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, expecting lots of sunshine. It'll be mild as well. We'll see a high of around 50. Tonight, increasing cloud cover with the low near 25. And tomorrow, mainly cloudy skies. A few flurries are possible, especially in the afternoon. We'll see a high of around 38. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clucker from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Well, we're back. Jay Foreman, Austin Orman, old school. Quick segment before we get to the top of the 5 o'clock hour. Probably jump into some NBA in-season tournament and then, go from there. NFL wrap up too. But before we get to that, there was a viral video on, I think it was Twitter or something. I saw it actually on the news this morning. A couple of refs went at it at a 4th grade, I guess, club basketball game in Denver, Colorado. They must have got mad at each other for somebody blew a whistle, inadvertent whistle. Must have got into it. The two refs started going at it, right? Oddly enough, the parents had to break it up, which is the best part because it's usually the parents fighting the ref
Right.
or whatever. But the two refs were going at each other. And then here in Lincoln, there was a little scuffle too. Same type of deal.
Not involving Coach Foreman?
No,
It didn't
I'm
figure so.
retired.
Just
No,
wanna make
I'm
sure.
retired, man.
Okay.
I'm retired. And the way those refs were scrapping, I don't think I got that in me anymore. They were
Some of those young bucks will go
yeah,
at you.
man. I mean, I think one of my last games, man, this little young dude tried me, man. I was looking at him like, man, you just don't know how quick I can jump on you real quick. But then I was like, man, he probably got more stamina than me. He could just withstand a couple, blows, and then he just probably wear me out. So, no, wasn't me. But in a Turkish league club president took it upon himself. He punched the referee in the face in a Super League game. You bet a bad call. I wanted a penalty kick, so he went up there and it made it a 1-1 draw. Punched the referee dead in his grill at the 97th minute in the equalizer on Monday. So what happens is if you get into either European soccer or those obviously those leagues, is every win or loss or draw really affects the bottom line because you could be regulated or you could be regulated means you'll get moved down. So that everything's based on the TV contracts and which you can project and then go spend and free agency and all that other stuff where you can get promoted. And my man, the club president, said he was tired of it, man. You know, we hear home game, and you messing up. He took it upon himself and punched him dead in the face, man. It's the best. That's the funniest thing I ever seen. I can just imagine. And, those guys, those presidents of the soccer clubs, they don't wear nothing but like $10,000 suits or whatever.
They are the classiest dressed dudes.
And they don't, like, when they're watching the game, they just sit there. Like it's like they're going to the Kentucky Derby or something, right? And obviously they're probably there with a bunch of investors. So just imagine the dude saying, hey, you got enough wine? Okay, you got your caviar? Hey, I'll be right back. He just rolls down here, goes right up to the he's like, I'll see you at the car, right? Goes and socks the dude. So that's one of the funniest stories that I saw this weekend, amongst other. But
if there's an NFL owner to punch a ref in the face, who'd it be? Or NBA? Like, I feel like
Jim Irsay.
That's okay. I didn't want to say
Jim
it, but
Irsay. Okay, let's think about who else would. Jim
Ballmer's got the energy, but I think he's a little too nice at his core.
He would just rough him up by like trying to wrestle with him.
Yeah. Irsay's punching full on.
Yeah.
Jerry's too old.
Jerry would have probably back in the day, or probably just like took the bolts out of his tire or something like that. Left his car on cinder block. Jerry would have paid somebody to do it. He would have never got too close. That's about it. Is
Tepper punching anyone?
I can see him doing it. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
You think?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
He might not punch the ref. He punched one of his coaches though. The another coach
hasn't already.
Yeah, I know, right? This is your parting gift. I'm gonna give you $20 million, Frank Wright, and a black eye. So
you some of it on dental work.
Yeah, exactly. I can see him doing it. Nobody else that I could think of in this day and age. I mean, there's probably been some wild ones, but Jim Irsay definitely would.
Magic Man?
Nope.
Josh Harris?
Nope. He could definitely not Josh Harris. The Magic Man, no, he's too
cool with it.
Yeah, he's too nice, man. He might smile and punch you or something. Hey, I got to do this to you.
Okay, before he sold with MJ. Before he sold.
I mean, if he had to, Jordan definitely got that dog in him, but at that point, Jordan, his security would though.
Rico says James Dolan is punching someone and then banning them from Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, and then having him arrested.
Right.
James Dolan, here's how
he's going to make up with Charles Oakley, have them punch the ref.
Here's what James Dolan would do. He would have his little crew get you down beneath Madison Square Garden. He'll rough you up with a couple body blows like in Gladiator, punch you, and then sue you.
Oh, yeah.
Never got a scratch on. Oh, Charleston White. I don't know if you've seen that this weekend. That was probably the funniest thing. Comedian Charleston White got attacked on stage.
Oh, dang.
And he's like Rico size.
Oh.
Yeah, somebody same foot, same shoulder him and got him pretty good. But anyways, enough of the wackiness. We're going to get to the top of the hour. Talk about this NFL. Are the Chiefs done? Are they cooked? Philly, Jalen Hurts. What's up, homie? Hey, Tua and the Dolphins live on stage. Can you put the league on notice? We'll go to a quick break and we'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Constructors Inc., a Nebco company, is now hiring heavy equipment mechanics to maintain fleet equipment and vehicle operations. Constructors offers mechanics a competitive salary, 4-day work weeks with overtime options, a $5,000 hiring bonus, a tool allowance, and great benefits. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. Apply today for their mechanic positions. Visit constructorslincoln.com. Happy holidays from Fairway Meat Market. If you're looking for that special gift for somebody, look no further than the holiday gift box. 2 8-ounce ribeyes, 2 8-ounce New York strips, 2 8-ounce pork chops, 2 8-ounce chicken breasts, and 2 5-ounce steak on a stick. All packed in a holiday gift box for just $59.99. They also have gift cards that are a great stocking stuffer. Your holiday starts at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
The holidays are right around the corner. This is a great year to give your family and loved ones a gift of shoes to encourage them to stay active. Fleet Feet Lincoln fits you properly for shoes, and they offer a free group that meets 3 days a week, plus other training programs and a walking group on Mondays. Get healthy, stay healthy with proper shoe wear from Fleet Feet Lincoln and a group of friends that will support you and keep you accountable. Start your health adventure at Fleet Feet Lincoln at 77th and Pioneers.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
If your car has sent you to the sidelines, Eustace Body Shop can help. With gold-class certified technicians, OEM parts, and free loaner cars, Eustace Body Shop is your best choice this Husker season. And with 6 locations across central and eastern Nebraska, we've got you covered, whether you're rooting at home or you're headed to Memorial Stadium. Get a free online quote at EustaceBodyShop.com, and let's get you back in the game.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Is your furnace operating like you think it should? Find out with a service check now from the pros at Bryant. No matter what make or model, Bryant will perform a thorough system check to make sure you're good to go this winter. Bryant also offers free second opinion heat exchanger checks. Before you spend thousands on a new furnace, let Bryant check it free. Anytime you need furnace service or repair, just call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing, 467-1111. We do whatever it takes.
It's the holiday season. Time for work parties, friend get-togethers, family gatherings, which means lots of eating. Maybe you think you've perfected your holiday meals, and maybe you have no idea where to even start. Let's fix that right now. No holiday party is complete without Führer's cheese spread. It goes well with any type of cracker, pretzels, apple, chili, vegetables, chips, and of course, it's perfect to pair with wine or beer. Holiday meals aren't complete until Führer's cheese spread is on the table. Find your own container at your nearest local grocery store today.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Bleicher and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador. Online at prg-ne.com.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of local union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We're back. Jay Foreman, Austin Norman. This is Old School, brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese, Special Ingredients and Butcher Shop. Located at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill. Every type of meat and every type of cut. Before we get into the NFL or the NBA play-in tournament or in-season tournament, we have breaking news. We got 2 breaking news. And we need to probably get the breaking news thing, but that's cool. The first one, Drake May, the redshirt sophomore from the University of North Carolina, sorry, Austin, is declaring for the draft. Potentially the number 1 pick. You know, it's back and forth between him and Caleb Williams. Most likely going to be a top 5 pick, depending on who needs a quarterback. Pretty good athlete. Here's a crazy thing about Drake May.
Is his brother sucks.
Yeah, his brother. Yeah, yeah. Well, since you went that far, thank you, Austin.
You're welcome.
His brother has some cojones. He'll hit some big shots. Give him that.
Admitted. Admitted. Yeah.
But Drake May is from Charlotte, North Carolina. Went to Myers Park High School. Went to high school with my daughter, my oldest. And so I was down there visiting, and I was like, oh, let's just go, let's go, watch some basketball. She was a freshman, I think. And they had a really good team. They have a nationally ranked team, a really good team now. But they were playing, and he was playing. He was a really good player. He averaged, 14 and 7, 8, even maybe a little bit more. He was legit, second team All-State. So we walk into the gym, it's packed. You know who's there? Oh, Nick Saban.
Nick Saban's there?
No, Nick Saban's there. So we walked in. It was, I got to see him a little bit. And, he kind of looked at, he was there. And, Nick Saban, the normal person who was apprehensive to go talk to him, he had somebody there. I just walked right past him and said, you remember me? And he looked at me and I think I have a beard now. I think I had peach fuzz then. And then so we just rapped a little bit, introduced him to my daughter, and then watched it. And then he was obviously, said he was looking at a couple guys, like particularly I'm looking at the quarterback, and he was legit athlete. I mean, he's a stupid athlete in the sense of being 6'4", can get up. He's for real. Can run, jump, and all that. Got a good arm, good mindset on him. Obviously, with his brother being pretty successful, his whole family is pretty good athletes. He's definitely earned his keep. So congrats to him. And then the other breaking news is on 3, right? Mm-hmm. Whether it's Sean Callahan or Steve Sipple. I don't know anybody else that works there besides those two.
This is a national guy. So not one of the national here.
National guy. So I guess we will feel free to talk about it. Is that potentially Nebraska's making a late push to flip Dylan Raiola? Is that what it said? Am I right?
That's what it says.
Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. Well, good job on Nebraska. Hey, man, it's never over till it's over. And hey, it takes 2 to tango. So we'll see what happens as the world turns, right?
I
hear you, Nebraska. Go ahead, man. Man, I don't know anything. You know what I'm saying, Austin? I was only roommates with his dad. I don't know anything. So I'd like to see. Maybe I could call Dom, man. He hadn't returned my call in a couple of weeks.
Dom, come on, man. Come on. You do have a roommate like that. What's up with that?
Here's the great thing about it. Dom's dad and my dad went to college.
No way.
Yes.
Well, and he's still not returning your calls.
Yeah, man. I thought
it runs deep like that.
Yeah, man. And his brother's cool. He cool breeze, man.
So it's just Dom.
It's just Dom. Yeah, man. He said he must be mad at me or something. We'll figure it out.
But your family, so you got to get past it.
We figure it out.
Come on.
And you know what's messed up though?
You mean more messed up?
Yeah, I think I saw Dylan somewhere. Somebody took a picture of us talking. I had my mouth covered though. I was trying to be like a superstar. Yeah. I wasn't telling him nothing.
Not letting anyone know you're telling nephew.
Yeah, man. He was all right. He's a good kid though, man. Probably a lot of pressure, man. So look, I do. Here's the only thing I know about his situation is I was never the number one at any position. Like coming out of high school, definitely these guys are recruited at a higher level than I ever was. Just based on circumstances. But I do know what it's like to play football with a legendary dad. I do know that, and when I look at Dylan and look at his dad, I see a lot of the relationship that my dad and me and my dad had with those two. So he'll be okay no matter where he goes. And that's one thing that will actually help propel him earlier through his career. And if it does get a little rocky, he has a great support system. All jokes aside, I'm there with him too, no matter where he's at, and he's family regardless. And, he'll be successful no matter where he decides to go. But good for Nebraska that they're able to. I don't know what the dynamics are, as far as that, but it must be, something on the hook for they're able to kind of get some conversations going on. So that lets you know that this staff, that they have over there at Nebraska is essentially hit the line running ever since they lost the Iowa game. And that's commendable. Probably took the weekend off and off they go, whether it's the flight tracker or I just saw that they were up at West Side and seeing Caleb Benning, did the in-home visit at Caleb Benning. I think they were at the Elkhorn South kid, his house too.
Murphy, right?
Yeah, Ashton Murphy. Thank you. I swear, I saw him there. I don't really get into the whole message boards or anything. I just kind of, flip on Twitter, and then they got it. And then I know Matt Rule's seemed like he's been everywhere. So, and all the coaches have, because I think even, I don't follow him, but even the interim tight end coach is down in Texas. He was tweeting about some games and stuff like that. So they're spreading their footprint all across the nation like they did prior, and they're, handling their business accordingly. But, to get a conversation or get back to potentially having a conversation with Dylan Raiola, the number one player in the country, obviously the number one quarterback in the country, is definitely shows you it's bigger than just having a family member that played here and one that coaches here. It's not, if that was the case, he would have never committed to other places, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's all. It lets you know there's a lot of meat on those bones. So anyways, the big news coming out of yesterday, besides Nebraska beating Michigan State, was the NFL weekend. It was a phenomenal weekend.
Big weekend.
And you know what's going to make it even better? When the Tennessee Titans and Coach Vrabel and my man King Henry run all over Jake Sorensen's Dolphins. All over him.
All over him?
All over him.
Not just kind of over him? All over him?
No. It's gonna. Vrabel's going to save his job tonight.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah.
I am, the Larry David gif where he's kind of,
I know. I saw it on your face.
Now.
You didn't believe.
No.
You didn't believe. I wasn't very. It's cool.
No, it's not about the Titans, right?
Right.
Like, I can't root for the Titans
Yeah,
because
I
they're in
know.
the division.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want them to have success. I don't like that franchise.
Right.
I can't root for the Dolphins because Jake's smug butt will be up in here tomorrow talking about it.
I got a bone to pick with your Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah, what bone is that?
Well, in fantasy, and I'm the worst. First of all, I play professional football. I'm the worst GM ever, right? Because I know when the draft starts, I get all excited for the draft, and then something comes up and I snake draft.
Mm-hmm.
Then I never change my lineup. I've lost 2 games with like 3 guys on the bye week.
Whoops.
Yeah, just self check right there. Well, I was like, all right, I'm coming down the stretch. I'm trying to get in the winner's bracket. Gardner Minshew, and they've been scoring
A little bit.
Yeah, so I got the kicker. He got me like 18 points last week. 0.
You want to know something? I have a bone to pick with Mike Colts too. I have their kicker.
Yeah, I do too. He's horrible. He's cut. Come Tuesday when I can make a cut, he's cut. So if you could talk to him, you're done. Right? I need to get the Cowboys kicker, but
2 from 59, 59 and a 60.
That's a phenomenal story.
Dang.
My man was just working like a FedEx job. Played in the USFL. Got a tryout on a whim. Has a super strong leg, obviously, and since he kicked in the USFL, they had to taper him back.
That's right.
And then he goes out and he makes the 60-yarder. And then, all right, let's tee up the 59-yarder. Philly, go home. Which is a great segment or segue into Dallas against Philly. And I want to ask you this. In your opinion, knowing that Dallas, let's say, squandered the first game or played good enough to win the first game, Dak played phenomenal. And then they finally got over the hump last night. Do you think them beating Philly the way they have beaten Philly is a byproduct of Philly playing Buffalo, then the 49ers, and then Dallas? That is a gauntlet, considering they probably should have lost to Buffalo. Got the brakes beat off them by the 49ers, tired, withered, and then on the road to Dallas. Do you think it's more of that, or do you think Dallas really was the better team, considering that they almost beat them on the road early in the season?
I'll say it is 35 to 40% the schedule, and then probably the rest of the percent, if I could remember what numbers I said, 60 or 65%.
Don't worry about that. We got it.
Dallas being better. Philly has been living on the edge this year, Jay.
Yeah.
They've won games against a tough schedule, right? You finish first in your division, you get a first place schedule.
Right.
Not like they haven't played anybody. There just hasn't been that same
umph.
Yeah, that same juice from Philly this year. So couple that step back from them with the tough schedule, with Dak playing like the best quarterback in football for the last month and a half or so.
Yeah, he's definitely in the MVP race.
Dallas at home.
Yeah.
Maybe we all should have seen this coming.
Yeah. I mean, and Dallas's defense is for real, for real last year. Also give it up to Mike McCarthy.
Yeah.
Hasn't I'll knock on the wood for him personally, professionally, not to mess up any games in type of clock management. He's been phenomenal this year. Play calling has been really good. Started a little rough with Kellen Moore being gone, but look, if you look at look at the Chargers versus now, I'd say that he made the right move.
Mm-hmm.
I think in my opinion, I think it's maybe 70% the Cowboys, 30% the schedule. Yes, you do get withered, and you do get tired. But I would say the two games that you had prior, the Buffalo game and 49ers, were at home.
Mm-hmm.
So you weren't on the road 3 weeks in a row.
And you get a chance to go on the road slightly less pressure, right? Because you've lost 2 in a row at home.
And you needed to get back right. So, it was all hands on deck. And you got Shaq Leonard in the lineup. Obviously, he played last night. But then also you got Zach Cunningham, who was one of the leading tacklers throughout his whole career until injury bug is hitting him now.
Mm-hmm.
He got healthy. So, and you feel like you have pretty good corners. You just got beat. And you know what? I will say this. Philly is the typical team that gets cannibalized by success. You go to the Super Bowl, they hire your defensive coordinator, and more importantly, your head coach, the offensive coordinator. Mm-hmm. Now, look, you can have somebody replace them. It could be the same plays with the same offensive guys. It is different. It takes a little while because what made Philly's offense good was the dude calling the plays. It's not, you can't we haven't been able to clone anybody yet. So, well, it's probably coming. We got, AI
or 10 years.
Yeah, right. I mean, God forbid they put, artificial intelligence and we say something, get fired on here or whatever. But that's the difference. And then I always say this, every year is different, even though you have the same team.
Mm-hmm.
And I've, obviously dealt with that, whether I was in the pros or in college. And so Philly's a little off. Maybe this is the wake-up call they need. I definitely think their coach sets them up for failure. Their head coach, definitely, he's ultra competitive. I think he's got like 4 brothers, and they just, pretty much a lesser version of the Gronkowskis. But
and don't forget they were missing their security head.
Yeah, he's the dude that does all the background checks on you, and you probably saw him, always walking around here trying to, devil in, see if any players are down at Iguanas or something like that. And well, he's been there for like almost 20 years.
Yeah.
And he was there, just wasn't able to be at the game. Dallas was very dominant. They were physically dominant, which
that O-line is looking better.
Yeah, and physically from a defensive line standpoint, I mean, Michael Parsons walked Lane Johnson back there. Lane Johnson's a Hall of Famer, first ballot Hall of Famer. Michael Parsons is a dude, and so very impressed with Dallas. Not impressed with my Houston Texans.
Yeah, what happened? That was
Zach
not great,
Wilson.
Jay. That's not great.
Zach Wilson, the mom slayer, 301 yards. He ain't thrown for 301 yards since his pro day. That's the last time he threw for any significant yards is his pro day. And then before that at BYU, two touchdowns. Obviously knocked CJ Stroud out of the game. Questionable whether it should have been a late hit, target and all that. He got knocked out and it was gone. Houston just didn't look good. They didn't look good at all. And they've been kind of on a razor's edge as well, right? Outscored some teams. You beat Tampa last second. So this is probably what they need. And this is what happens when you have a young head coach and a young team that's exceeding expectations. You got a generational quarterback. You got some guys. Tank Dell being out really, really hurts. You might not see it the first week. You do see it the next week. That's just the way it goes. And so they got beat up pretty bad. They need to go back and lick their wounds. And then I was also very disappointed in Nick Sainter's Detroit Lions.
Yeah, what happened there? Chicago?
Listen,
Chicago.
I like Justin Fields. If it was me, I would keep him. I would fire the head coach and get me a coordinator that would kind of use him, whoever's like kind of CJ Stroud, right? But marry it to Justin Fields.
Go get him Greg Roman or someone.
Right, exactly. And Greg, what's funny? You want to hear a funny story about Greg Roman?
I would love to, yeah.
I love Greg Roman. He was always, first of all, when I used to see him, he looks weird. I mean, let me take that back. Greg, I apologize. I know Greg's not watching.
It's coming from a place of love.
It is. But it was like he's this little dude. He comes off as frumpy. He does.
Yeah.
Because him and Jed Fish, Greg was the offense analyst. Jed Fish was the defensive. So
in Houston?
So in between segments in practice, you talk to him, and I would always ask Greg about, because he was assistant, he worked with the tight ends or whatever. So I would ask him about tight ends that I'd play and how to defend them and what I was always kind of doing it. So he kind of looks kind of frumpy. And there was a time that we had a bye week and he was just we were walking back we used to have a trolley to get back. We're like, hey, he's like, hey, 5'6". We got a bye week. Dom's giving us time off. He's like, I think I might go grab a beer. I was like, you ride with me? You ready to go? And so we went to this place called the Hurricane Hut, and their drinks was this hurricane they made.
Okay.
And luckily, it was 2 blocks from my house. So we went there, we ate, and so it was a whole bunch of us, but I got to really get to know him and talk about it. And he was talking about RPOs then. He was like, I wish I could bring Nebraska's offense to the NFL. He was talking to me about then. I'm like, dude, that ain't never going to work. Yeah, so Tommy Frazier ain't playing, and you ain't got no lineman for it. It ain't never going to work. He's like, I think it could work. I swear to God, it could work. That was then. Now, mind you, we drank about 6 hurricanes, and we both stumbled, and he spent the night in my guest bedroom. So good for Greg Roman, man. And then, but the Detroit Lions, Dookie down the legs. Moment was too big. We won't say anything about your Colts. You let the backup dude beat the brakes off you.
It was the offensive line that took a step back. The run game wasn't there. Put too much in Gardner Minshew's hands. You can't afford to do that.
Right.
But here's the thing: Buffalo just got back even. Houston lost. You get another chance at a big playoff caliber win with Pittsburgh coming to town.
Yeah.
Right? You mentioned a razor's edge. So many teams are at 7-6.
Yeah, man. It is. You look at
it's
it.
week to week.
Hey, get big up to Vance Joseph.
Yeah.
Getting pretty much ran out the gym in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
The defense has been almost lights out since then.
Mm-hmm.
Beat the Chargers 24-7. And the Broncos are, guess what? 7-6.
One game back at KC.
Exactly. But the game of the weekend. For all you KC
Y'all
fans.
need to see the look on this man's face.
All you KC fans, I want you to listen right here. How do you like that? How do you like them apples? How do you like them apples, man? You shouldn't have went to the Super Bowl because Leslie Frazier couldn't stop Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce with 13 seconds left.
13 seconds.
Lucky, right?
Mm-hmm.
Knocked us out the year before. Talk about we weren't ready, right? Now we come there, backs against the wall. You have my man Hawkins talking about kill or be killed. You got the coach. I don't know what McDermott was thinking back in 2019. He wasn't thinking. He had pre-COVID. He had COVID before COVID. His brain. And then now we come on the road when you guys need to get right and beat the brakes off you. That game was close, but we kicked your tail. So Husker Nick, I know you listening. We kicked your tail. Dell, my man, the grill master, we kicked your tail. Anybody that likes Kansas City, how you like that? And yeah, you can be mad that, Patrick Mahomes and should have got a call. Listen, my man Tony, Kadarius Toney, lined up 4 times offsides in the game, and they called the last one. He was so far offsides, he could have been a defensive player. And yes, he looked at the ref, but he didn't get the okay from the ref.
Okay, so I saw that same video.
Right.
I don't even think he looked at the ref. I thought he was looking at the sideline.
He just said like this. But also, here's also the problem. Okay, say Patrick Mahomes, and Patrick Mahomes, you could always just say, look, you make more money, you're better than me and all that, right? But here comes the reality. Even if they didn't call that, it was a legal formation. Your right tackle was back in the backfield like a running back. And we saw this from the very first game.
They have been on that dude
all
year.
When they played Detroit and you lost to Detroit, he was in the backfield. So really, Patrick Mahomes, to be honest with you, as you watch this play, you could just say, okay, well, are you running the wing T? The right tackle is in the backfield. So it's a legal formation. So, yes, Travis Kelce's supposed Hall of Fame moment got taken away from him, but it's attention to detail. Now, let's also go all the way back a few years ago to their defensive end, D Ford. Remember that?
Jumping against New England.
He was offsides. It was the same. Listen, it was the Robert Kraft game. Robert Kraft had his special meeting in Florida. His other ticket holders were waiting for him. That was his good luck charm. And then you know what? I think he's a size 14. If he's size 12, Chiefs go to the Super Bowl.
Just like KD and that shot against Milwaukee.
Yeah, that's it. So being offsides is something that's haunted KC, and both times have been at home.
That's the problem.
That's the crazy thing about it. And you know what's funny? They shipped D Ford out of there like right there.
Immediately.
Right. Poor D Ford. Listen, man. It was just a cleat. And you gonna send the brother to San Fran just like that?
Like that.
And then they're gonna support Kadarius Toney? He said he's going to do. I mean, my man lined up all sides all day. Like, bro, if you look over and see the center, you're off sides because the receiver in his position is supposed to be in line with the tackle. Right?
And then the two guys just off his hip behind him.
Yeah, but
much.
this dude right here, he lined up and he could headbutt Von Miller. you been offside. What are you doing?
He's staying offside.
And then here's the best part. If you watch the whole play, right? The top-down view, Travis Kelce has it, and he's running. And Kadarius Toney was just, like, jogging. And then he threw it to him. He's like, oh, I got it. And then he ran into the end zone. And
kind of high-stepped it.
But I think he saw the flag. I think he's like, oops, I got caught. Anyways, that was the best of all weekend. I'd be honest with you, I wasn't sure how Buffalo was going to play. When you look at it, before we go to break, Buffalo, generally, Josh Allen has been playing out of his mind, right? He was only 23 or 42, not a very dominant game. 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 69 rating. James Cook got off, right? Josh Allen ran it 10 times for only, 32 yards, nothing special. And guess what? Stephon Diggs had 4 catches for 24 yards. So you would think those two are married. James Cook out of the backfield. So essentially what is James Cook punched a hole in the defense running the ball, and then obviously the check down was huge because he had 83 yards in receiving.
That one real route.
Yep. And then Latavius Murray, hit him up. Dawson Knox, good to see him back. He's been kind of, he's one of the top tight ends, been hurt. But let me tell you something, man. You speaking about fantasy. You know who usually kills Kansas City? Is Gabe Davis.
Yeah.
Guess what Gabe Davis did yesterday?
Zeros.
2 targets, 0 catches, 0 yards, nothing.
Dang.
I got to start him next week because I know he's going to come back from a he had the Philly hangover. He ain't run that 7 cut in overtime. Trick off. Come on, Gabe. I need you, bro. Now my back's against the wall. I gotta get 5 points tonight. Either Morissette or Henry got to give me 5 points, or else I'm
if
ready.
You don't get 5 from Henry, I don't know what's up with that.
I don't know. But to be honest with you, in closing, this is probably the first time that I saw Patrick Mahomes. I think he does a really good job, especially with young players, being patient. But when you're this far into the season and you just won a championship, this is the time to really get it going. Same with Andy Reid. I think they know internally I will say it, man. Travis Kelce still a dude, right? And he's done well, obviously all season. But I do think he has lost a little bit of focus. Now it's hard to say it, because he's doing so well. He's going to have 1,000 yards again, but he only has 5 touchdowns. He's usually 1,010, right? But we've seen periodic drops from him. We've seen emotional outbursts in training camp multiple times. One was in minicamp, but a couple times in training camp, punching players, and that's normally not him. He's got a personal foul even during the season. It just lets you know something's a little bit off. They're going to have a players only meeting to get it going, to get everybody to focus, and then they're a dangerous team. If they get out of their own way, they're dangerous. But sometimes you have a Super Bowl hangover, and sometimes it's too much stardom. And you see it. That's how you get, a music icon somehow decides to start dating you when you were just joking on a podcast, right? And then all of a sudden you become a lot cuter, a lot richer, a lot more famous. But more power to him, though. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer no matter what. Might go down as the best tight end of all time, definitely stat-wise. But definitely when you're thinking about trying to win back-to-back Super Bowls, there is something off in that whole offensive unit. They look off. They don't have the same edge.
You brought up Bieniemy as the reason for losing the edge. That's got to be part of it. I mentioned to Strick when we talked about it before he got in. It feels a little Golden State Warriors-ish, where they've had some draft successes the Chiefs have on defense. Yeah. Their offensive skill position guys,
not so much.
Missed the mark. Got Humphrey on the line, Niang on the line, but Pittman Jr. or Higgins were on the board when they took Edwards-Helaire. Yeah. Now they'd be coming up for an extension. Would they get it? Would they not? But they would at least have a guy on the roster.
Oh, wait. No. We got some fans out there. You got the fam can.
Yep, fan can's up.
Fam can's up, man. But I lost my track of there. Right there. I don't know who them dudes are, but they got a fan cam. On Sunday morning, they tried to tell me I didn't wave to it enough, man. Sometimes you wave too much, man, right? Get friends in there. I might be spending the night in here. But anyways, I think they got a little bit over their skis. And you saw it a couple times with the Warriors. Steph blew up, Clay blew up, and they lost their edge. Hopefully Kansas City can get it back. But good NFL segment. We're going to take a quick break, dive into the Los Angeles Lakers getting over the hump and winning the first in-season tournament for the NBA. Jay Foreman, Austin Orman, Old School. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Constructors Inc., a Nebco company, is now hiring heavy equipment mechanics to maintain fleet equipment and vehicle operations. Constructors offers mechanics a competitive salary, 4-day work weeks with overtime options, a $5,000 hiring bonus, a tool allowance, and great benefits. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. Apply today for their mechanic positions. Visit constructorslincoln.com.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
Become a member of the YMCA today and enjoy access to all 4 Lincoln locations. Free group fitness classes along with member pricing for the whole family on youth programs such as swimming, dance, and basketball. The YMCA even offers free health assessments to kickstart your workout. Start the new year off right as a member of the YMCA and enjoy no initiation fees through the end of the month. For a list of locations and to join, visit ymcalincoln.org. The YMCA, for a better us.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. We'd like to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And to show our appreciation, Koppel is offering some huge holiday discounts from now until January 2nd. On select new Chevrolet vehicles, we are offering $8,000 off MSRP or 1.9% financing. Yes, you heard right. That's $8,000 off or 1.9% financing on select new Chevrolets. We also have some huge discounts on our new GMC inventory, so stop on in or check us out online at koppelcars.com. Includes finance, trade, and Costco bonus with roof credit. Stock number C2999464.
December is here, which means your stress levels are probably high as you try to wrap up year-end work tasks, attend holiday gatherings, and find the perfect holiday gift for everyone in your family. Good news! The Body Shop can relieve your stress with a massage for you and a gift card for a massage for your shopping purposes. Book an appointment for yourself or get a gift card for the holidays today at thebodyshoplincoln.com, located at 48th and A.
When it comes to tackling your fall projects, having the right equipment can make a huge difference. At Sunbelt Rentals, they have an extensive line of tools and equipment to help complete any job. From lawn and landscape equipment to hand tools, pressure washers, portable generators for you tailgaters, and much more. Sunbelt Rentals makes it easy to get what you need when you need it. Drop in to see the experts at 5450 Alvo Road in Lincoln, or visit sunbeltrentals.com today to learn how Sunbelt Rentals can make it happen for you.
Introducing The Outlet by Sartor Heyman. The Outlet brings you luxurious Sartor Heyman quality jewelry at unbeatable prices. Shop our expansive inventory of overstocked merchandise and a vast estate collection that just hasn't found its home yet. This is your chance to own stunning designer jewelry at a fraction of the cost. Elevate your style at The Outlet by Sartor Heyman, where luxury and affordability meet. Downtown at 12th and O or online at sartorheyman.com.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay. Playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend. We're bringing heaven to Lincoln with a waffle unlike anything you've ever experienced. Heavenly Waffles combines an incredibly fluffy recipe packed with protein and a medley of angelic toppings. To elevate the experience beyond your typical waffle and syrup, take the opportunity to try out this divine creation and pair it with a coffee from the mill as we celebrate Heavenly Waffles Wednesday from 8 to 11 a.m. at the 93.7 The Ticket Studio.
Stop by the 93.7 The Ticket Studios at 1040 O Street this Wednesday, December 13th, to try some Heavenly Waffles. Parking available on 11th Street and in nearby garages.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We're back. Jay Foreman, Austin Orman, old school. The news is out. Text message going on. Be on the lookout on 3 for Steve Sipple. He's breaking the news. I don't know how he got the news before Austin. I have no idea how anybody knew this before anybody in Lincoln. Anyways, we're gonna read some of these text messages or on the text line.
They're hopping, Jay.
They are,
They're
man.
hopping.
They are, man. Let me see. One-Eyed Ray said Detroit has been playing very poorly for a while. They've been getting away with it. I truly agree. We won't tell Nick, but that is true. Pecan pie, dang, bro. How many rings does Buffalo have? That'd be 0. But so that means pecan pie. Now I know you. Now I know you're a Kansas City fan. You know I'm about to mess with you for the rest of my life. Wet Blanket says, does Buffalo beat your Bills? Nope, they do not. Buffalo. Here's
Does
why.
Dallas?
No, does Dallas beat? No, they don't. Here's why. We're playing in Buffalo. It's gonna be cold, and Dallas thinks they won the Super Bowl. They celebrated too much by beating Philly. Finally, right? They're talking about finally. 3201 unknown texter. Let's see what he says. Okay, let's see what this thing is. I've never pulled up any of these screenshots. Here what he says. Flipped my 24/7 crystal ball to Nebraska for 5-star Dylan Raiola. Steve Wiltfong. Barstool Skurs. Is that even real? Are these guys real? I don't want to talk about it.
Steve Wiltfong is real.
Yeah, well, okay, we won't even talk about Barstool Sports. I don't even know if they're real. I don't know.
The fan accounts, man.
Mississippi Mud Dog. What do you think about Green Bay and New York tonight? Green Bay's going to win. New York is done. Even though they have DeVito. He's living it up there, man. Living at home, getting his,
Which don't you have to if you're like the backup quarterback in the biggest spotlight? You're like, you've got to take advantage.
If I got drafted by the Vikings, I would have lived at home. Now, my dad probably wouldn't have been making me like lunch, breakfast, and doing my clothes, but I would have lived at home.
Would you have built on a wing for yourself or just same room?
No, I would have. I mean, we would have adjusted, but I mean, I had a place back in Minnesota, so I kind of had to. It would have been like a little apartment. It'd been fine. So I would have done the same thing. Drew Carr, he says, news. What do you say? News dropped on Raiola. Go get him, Jay. I don't know. I don't have any apples in the oranges, man. I haven't even heard from. I haven't even
Dom's
heard.
not answering. We
Yeah,
just went
man.
over that. Come on, Dom.
Yeah, man.
Let me call him out so you don't have to.
I'll call him out.
Okay.
Oh, 75-43. Here's what he said. There was a fight in this Supreme League here in Lincoln Sunday. Yes, I do. I saw it. It was pretty good.
Was it Crawford Spence level?
I'm sorry, Bubba. It says relegated, not regulated. Well, here's Bubba. Here's the thing called ebonics. When you get regulated, you get told what to do. Okay? Regulated. That's Jay Foreman soccer term. Relegated is right by my man Bubba. I apologize. Not really, but you're right, bud.
You got to get your boy 4610.
Hold on, we're not there yet.
Okay.
Ham and Beans is talking about Juwan Howard. Yeah.
Bad vibes in Michigan.
I don't know what, I mean, the dude just had a heart attack. He went and punched somebody. I find that hard to believe.
So he didn't actually punch him. It was just verbal. Never got physical.
Right. So what's the big deal?
That's my question. I said before the year Michigan was going to be bad. They're putting up a lot of points. The only reason they beat Iowa is because as bad as Iowa's offense is, its defense is worse.
Yeah.
Like, Iowa's just not good this year.
Yeah.
There's just bad vibes. There's something going on in Ann Arbor.
It just
Jay.
seems like
something's up.
It seems like it was going good. Juwan Howard's a straightforward South Chicago dude. It was great when you brought him back. They had a great team, multiple lottery picks. And then Hunter Dickinson leaves, and then all of a sudden now you want to get rid of one of your iconic players as a coach. And then you want to have Phil like Martelli take over.
Mm-hmm.
Dude's on life support. Like, come on. But go right ahead, Michigan. Keep Michigan. We like when you lose. I hate Michigan anyways. Let me see. Oh, here we are, 46-10. Here we go, baby. Here we go. Here we go. No, you know what? 46-10, we're going to make you wait. How about how you like that? We're going to go to my man, Latex Mallard from MySpace. 12-team parlay hits if Jets win.
It would be the Giants, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, the Giants. Well, good luck to you. Justin and Seward. Raiola flipping to Nebraska. What the F is going on? You know what, Justin? I don't know, man. Everybody on Twitter needs to ask Dom Raiola why he hasn't called his boy back, his homeboy. Me and Dom have had some late nights together. That might be a problem if Dom comes back, though. I mean, no, I'm just playing. We're old. We're way past that. Old Dad 34. Did y'all hear about Raiola going to flip? You know, that's what Dave from Renew. Yes, regulators mount up. That's my dude right there. Regulators mount. You know what time it is, Dave. Let me see. Wet blanket. I know that I'm wet blanket, but the fact that Raiola played 4 seasons at 4 different high schools makes me care a little bit. Makes me care a little bit about where he signs. I think it's 80-20 that he's playing somewhere different in 2025. That's where he signs this year. So what's he saying?
What he's saying is he thinks that the commitment doesn't mean much from Raiola because he's bounced around so much.
But he's a senior, right?
Yes. So he thinks he's going to be the same in college.
Oh, he's going to go different places.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was he was living in Arizona, and then or it was in Texas, and then Arizona, then he went to Georgia. It was family dynamics because they have other kids that play places.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that a little bit. I think he had a sister that played TCU.
TCU.
So that would obviously let you know why they lived in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Their wet blanket, and then he moved to Arizona, which was obviously well documented. Somebody fumbled the bag. And I will tell you this, wet blanket. I can't speak for Dom. I can only speak from the vibe that I got from him and feel very comfortable saying this. I am very comfortable in saying when Nebraska beat Northwestern 56-7 or whatever it was that night. Remember that night game?
Mm-hmm. It was fun.
They had him in the bag. I know that for a fact because I spent a lot of time with him. I see Dom almost every time. There's only been
you
one.
knew he was in the bag because Dom returned those calls.
Yeah, and I talked to him, and I talked to Dylan.
Kentucky.
And the little brother is my favorite one. That's my dude, man. That's my dude. I love Dylan. I love you. I like you, Dylan, but I love some Dayton. I love you if you come to Nebraska, but right now I only like you, right? But something happened between then. I think Matt Rule and those guys did a really good job outside of and the one thing I would say is that they did a good job of recruiting them and not trying to play of having the uncle here. They really recruited him. I think Matt Rule and staff, along with Mickey first, and then those guys. So give them credit. Bill Bush, whoever done it, I don't know who did it. All of them. They did a really good job of rehabbing a situation that turned quickly.
Mm-hmm.
They pumped some life back into it. Then Matt Rule and those guys pumped a little bit more life back into it. Some situations went on Ohio State, I think, from a communication standpoint and in holding up your word. That's where the decommitment came from. I don't need to get into that because I'm not going to speak for anybody. I'm just saying, whatever. And then obviously Georgia, you couldn't, whatever. And so, but I always do. I do think I will say this. I would never speak for Dom. I would never speak for their family. I have a ton of respect for him. I consider Dom a brother. I care about him. I love him or whatever. I'm not a very emotional person, but I love him. Dom's that's my dude, right? But I do think even when I saw him, even when I knew he committed to Georgia, I knew that he honestly gave Nebraska a chance at that point in time. I knew that he knew because I talked to him about things bigger than just throwing touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing about him that he's in a really good place, but it's a byproduct of his dad, of his mom, and his family dynamic. but what his dad did in the relationships he's had here. He has a support system of people that have done well, made mistakes, rebounded, and will look out for him and look out for the best betterment of him, and then obviously the university as well. So he's able to do that. So, the fact that he's able to potentially, start talking again, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if he's an early enrollee. I don't know. That lets you know I don't really. I mean,
here's the thing: we don't even know if he's coming to Nebraska yet.
Right, and
nothing is official. This is all
until
just
he
out there in
commits
the
and
rumor
signs.
mill.
You just never know. And I mean, but I will say this. I will say this to Wet Blank, and this Wet Blank. I'm not taking any shots at you. I will tell you this from my experience of helping out and coaching in high school, knowing kids and have kids in high school, and coaching kids all across the city and the state, because I got coached from kids from Western Nebraska. It used to be a red flag if a kid goes to multiple high schools. It did. I would think it. I remember when we had a kid transfer in from Bloomington Jefferson. That's literally on the other side of O Street from, where Lane Kiffin went, right? And that's our rival high school.
Oh, okay. Huh.
It was different. It was weird. You always look at him like,
what are you doing here?
Yeah. You got the scarlet letter. It's different because of the lack of coaching. You have to be an advocate for your son, not a promoter, an advocate for your son or daughter. You have to be an advocate I will say this for you parents out there, if you're listening, you have to be an advocate for your son or daughter, regardless of where they go. This isn't about trying to push a kid to Power 5, for your kid to just have a fair chance of playing. There's way too many politics that go on in sports. There's not enough coaching and developing and truly wanting the best for everybody and, and all that stuff. There's not enough programs per se where the standard is set and then you just roll the ball out or whatever and it'll take care of itself. When you don't have a program, then all other factors go into it. And I'm talking about the high school level. So that isn't a big deal to me. Now, here's where you could say going to multiple high schools is an issue. If you get in trouble in one, the same thing that got you in trouble one, well, there. Or, you can connect the dots. Issues with coaching, issues with accountability, and all that. This kid is solid as a rock, and so that's why I think it's different. So, hopefully it works out. Now, we're going to go longer here, and then we'll go shorter. We'll just give a thumbs up or thumbs down in the in-season tournament in the short break. 4-6-1-0. He's definitely a Chiefs fan. Hey, listen, man. Listen, I love this dude, right? He had a pretty good quote here this morning. He must have been talking about Live Golf. He said, "You'll watch golfers past their prime, but pass on the best in the world." Then his other ones, he says, "Wow, Jay, pretty proud of that win. Didn't realize that was the playoffs. I guess if you can't win a Super Bowl, then celebrate what you can." You know what? You damn right. You damn right. And here's why. I used to think Cowboys fans were the most annoying. The Chiefs fans are the most annoying.
Even though they make good food at tailgates?
They make great food at tailgates. I love the Chiefs. I love Andy Reid as a coach. I love Patrick Mahomes. I like Travis Kelce. I like Steve Spagnuolo too. I like Kansas City, but their fans are annoying.
Ruining it for you?
Because they all of a sudden have been like they were snake bit for so many years. Then all of a sudden they act like they just been here, like you just been winning Super Bowls. You the same team that had Joe Montana and tricked it off. You the same ones that where you let me down when you had Joe Montana on a humbug, and then you had one of the best defenses, and you ran out there with Steve DeBerg. Remember
Steve DeBerg.
And you had Barry Word and Christian
Brody
Okoye.
Croyle.
Christian Okoye. Yeah, J.J. Burton, though. I like the little J.J. Burton. So, yeah, I was a kind of a indirect Chiefs fan for a while. They were on TV a lot. So, 4-6-1-0, man. It's all right, man. Listen, you'll be all right next week. Just, hey, take these 5 L's like a champion, man. And you know what? 4-6-1-0, when you guys win a championship, probably somehow, some way, you'll get it together. You can light me up on the text line, and I'll gladly take it. But right now, it was a playoff game. It was a playoff game for Buffalo. Our backs were against the wall, and we came down to Kansas City without even a big game from Stephon Diggs, let alone Josh Allen, a.k.a. the Cyborg, and we beat you guys. All the while, our coach had one of the worst motivational speeches of all time. and he was able to rally the troops. He saved his job, man. So, you know what? We got to celebrate it. If you can win a game on the road in Kansas City when they need a win after that pregame speech, you got to celebrate it. But you always do that because you're alumni. And plus, I will tell you this, 4610, there was 15 years, but we didn't make a playoff, so we're always going to be celebratory. Anyways, we're going to go to break, come back, and then we're going to talk quickly about the NBA in-season tournament. Jay Foreman, Austin Orman. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Is your backyard ready for fun with friends and family this fall? GE Landscape Supply has pavers and boulders, which are a great accent for any landscaping project. And you can find them at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere, nearby or far away. Stop by at 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. Go to gelandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627. When it comes to tackling your fall projects, having the right equipment can make a huge difference. At Sunbelt Rentals, they have an extensive line of tools and equipment to help complete any job. From lawn and landscape equipment to hand tools, pressure washers, portable generators for you tailgaters, and much more. Sunbelt Rentals makes it easy to get what you need when you need it. Drop in to see the experts at 5450 Alvo Road in Lincoln, or visit sunbeltrentals.com today to learn how Sunbelt Rentals can make it happen for you.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Constructors Inc., a Nebco company, is now hiring heavy equipment mechanics to maintain fleet equipment and vehicle operations. Constructors offers mechanics a competitive salary, 4-day work weeks with overtime options, a $5,000 hiring bonus, a tool allowance, and great benefits. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. Apply today for their mechanic positions. Visit constructorslincoln.com.
Hey, it's Chad with the Nutrition Authority, inviting you to stop in and check out the all-new Complete Post-Workout Recovery, CPR. CPR is ideal for anyone who works out or competes and wants to maximize results. CPR can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today and try a free sample or visit us at mynutritionauthority.com.
We're bringing heaven to Lincoln with a waffle unlike anything you've ever experienced. Heavenly Waffles combines an incredibly fluffy recipe packed with protein and a medley of angelic toppings to elevate the experience beyond your typical waffle and syrup. Take the opportunity to try out this divine creation and pair it with a coffee from the mill as we celebrate Heavenly Waffles Wednesday from 8 to 11 a.m. at the 93.7 The Ticket Studio.
Stop by the 93.7 The Ticket Studios at 1040 O Street this Wednesday, December 13th, to try some Heavenly Waffles. Parking available on 11th Street and in nearby garages.
Become a member of the YMCA today and enjoy access to all 4 Lincoln locations. Free group fitness classes along with member pricing for the whole family on youth programs such as swimming, dance, and basketball. The YMCA even offers free health assessments to kickstart your workout. Start the new year off right as a member of the YMCA and enjoy no initiation fees through the end of the month. For a list of locations and to join, visit ymcalincoln.org. The YMCA, for a better us.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Acres, your premier John Deere dealer, has the largest selection of late model equipment in the Midwest. And for a limited time, Acres is offering low rate financing on all 2021 and 2022 S and X Series combines and 8 Series tractors. Qualified buyers can earn 3.9% financing for 60 months. And as an added bonus for your holiday season, if you purchase one of Acres eligible machines before December 31st, you'll get a $5,000 gift card from Shields. Go to acres.com to learn more.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
December is here, which means your stress levels are probably high as you try to wrap up year-end work tasks, attend holiday gatherings, and find the perfect holiday gift for everyone in your family. Good news! The Body Shop can relieve your stress with a massage for you and a gift card for a massage for your shopping purposes. Book an appointment for yourself or get a gift card for the holidays today at thebodyshoplincoln.com, located at 48th and A.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your link forecast for today, expecting lots of sunshine to be mild as well. We'll see a high around 50. Tonight, increasing cloud cover with the low near 25. And tomorrow, mainly cloudy skies with a few flurries are possible, especially in the afternoon. We'll see a high of around 38. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clucker from 93.7 Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We're back. Quick sign off. Austin, we only got about 30 seconds. Thumbs up or thumbs down on the in-season tournament for NBA? Thumbs up. Yeah, I think it was pretty good. It got a lot of views, and it was good to see the Lakers do well, and it had some pretty exciting games. So I think it was a good shot in the dark by the NBA, and obviously they knocked it out of the park. So congrats to the Lakers and congrats to the NBA. Looking forward to the rest of the season. That being said, obviously this has been a great week so far to Nebraska. Go Big Red, and we'll be talking to you tomorrow. We are out.
Load up on meat and more this holiday season at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Haviland. This week's specials through December 12th are spend $740 and get a free New York strip. Also, through the 12th, all Flavor County Farms mushrooms are $1.50 off of normal price. Don't forget their 2 new locations now open at 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. We'd like to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and to show our